Okay. Eighth time's a charm. Now this is becoming a thing. Okay. All right. When you film things and it's a talky kind of thing and it's like unscripted and you're just kind of going off the cuff, whether it be webcast or vloggy type things, me personally, like I'll start the camera, and this happens often enough, not like all the time, but often enough to where if I'm not feeling it within like the first like 20 or 30 seconds, I stop and I just like, kind of reset my brain. I'm like, all right, let's get on with it now. Let's start. Eight. Two of them were about 5 minutes long. Two of them were about 5 minutes long. 5 or 6. 5 of them had this conversation or a variant of it. So, and I think about 3 of them had me saying, like, whatever happens, happens. I ain't stopping. But that helps. It helps me. It's a grounding thing. It's cat toys and everything. It's a trick that I learned in rehab. You wouldn't know. You've never been. Except those of you who have. All right. So, I'm going to try to just embrace whatever awkwardness comes out of my mouth. And then just like, if it's cringe, you just gotta, all right. Or if it doesn't feel right, it's like, deal with it. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. So, yeah. Oh, and not to mention, I got Melissa. So, Melissa, if you could just kind of really just help to just kind of clean it up and just make me look, less silly, I'd appreciate it. Thanks. But, reading comments. I posted the video, after I had gotten out of treatment, and I said I was going to respond to comments and read questions. And most of the comments, just after the initial kind of review of them, most of the comments are just nothing but just love and support. Love and support. So, yeah. And there's very few questions, so I don't know why I'm explaining it. Let's just get to it. Opal Mist, the scruff definitely suits you better than the serial killer stash. I don't have either now. Opal Mist, let's take a look at you. I'm gonna click on your. Is that you? I can't even tell. Is that like some band guy? That's creepy. Oh, are you trying to be the creepy, scary guy? Is that who? Oh, this is who I am. Oh, this one's from Melissa. I'm really glad you made the decision to go. That's how she talks. I don't know if you've ever listened to Melissa talk. It's life-changing and difficult, but things are going to be better in the long run. Yeah, it is, and it has been, and it's a lot. There's parts of it that are a lot easier than I would have thought, and then other parts of it, and I wouldn't even call it hard. It's just like, oh well, you just do the slow work to kind of get yourself into a better spot. And as far as as far as actual drinking is concerned, I don't have cravings. It's almost like oh, that was just a thing that I did, and then right now in my head it's like, now that's not a thing that I do, and it's easy. I don't have to sit there and distract myself. I just gotta get good at these chucks, and if I don't get good at these chucks, then I'm just gonna get back on Skid Row. No, it's not like that. a lot of times it's more about like, well, how integrated of a life am I living, and like how much self-care am I doing every day, like different like little things like how much sunlight am I getting, how much hydration am I getting, like how many hours of sleep did I get, am I looking at my phone too late in the day, am I having, you know, kind of weird internal reactions that turn into external reactions when I get into a situation or a conversation that can cause me some sort of kind of like emotional duress. It's like those types of things, and it's like the overall kind of network of, I guess, your lifestyle or your well-being or all of that type of stuff is, it's all just kind of data points on a large scale kind of spectrum. And like me, as far as my perception is concerned, I'm a fixed point. I'm a fixed point on a sliding spectrum or a sliding scale just of overall wellness, of overall life wellness. So there's times where it's like maybe I'm going to be sliding more towards like the good or helpful or positive or, you know, whatever you want to call it, end of those kind of spectrums, but I might not necessarily think that I'm making as fast or as much progress as I actually am, just because my eyes stay right here. And even though I might be myself kind of moving, like my gaze is fixed. So a lot of times I have to actually take feedback from other people, people that are like close friends of mine and family, like Heidi, and say like, hey, like, is there anything that you notice? And then I take into account like the different things that they'll kind of say, because yeah, you're kind of sitting in there, and it's not like I feel wildly different. It's not like I feel like, oh my gosh, my eyes have been open. I just feel like a less fuzzy and more equipped kind of version of just myself. But that regardless, with or without, you know, alcohol, booze, substance, anything, regardless, there's a lot of different things that if I'm not doing them on a day-to-day basis, those self-care things or self-management or looking inside and kind of working on myself, if I'm not doing that stuff every day, then it's easy to get like on that, you know, you slide. Because again, it works both ways. That fixed gaze, that fixed point, where you might be sitting there and you're just like, okay, well, I was in a good spot, but I'm not going to do the work. And then you start to slide, but then you might not notice that you're sliding into more kind of unhelpful patterns, maladaptive, some call them. Grace Talmadge, as someone who has gone through rehab and is recovering from alcoholism myself, I am very happy for you and proud of you. Thank you, Grace. By the grace of your grace, I am graced with I'm rooting for you, Derek. I am very happy that you're rooting for me. Thank you, Grace. Appreciate that. Yeah, you know, and it's like I was saying, recovery is a recovery mindset. It's about just life, not necessarily, you know, like I was saying before in one of the old videos, or not one of the old videos, but the video, leading to this one, I had a lot of different kind of unhelpful just kind of patterns of like, you know, thinking, and because here's the thing, I'm going to go into different kind of tangents, but one of the different things that you learn is like the difference between like the thinking self and then the emotional self. And a lot of times there's different kind of brain things that can happen that are more closely associated with your thinking self. Like depression is more of a thinking kind of ailment. And that's why things like, you know, cognitive reframing of certain kind of internal narratives is like a helpful way to cope with certain kind of depression type things. But then you have other stuff like anxiety. Anxiety is more of a fear-based thing, and a lot of times the fear is actually, yeah, it can become a thinking thing, but then what it ultimately does is it starts to translate into your body, into your nervous system, And your body kind of holds that. It keeps a record of that. And there's a lot of times if you're feeling an anxiety, I don't know why I pronounced it like weird like that, but a lot of times if you're feeling like an anxiety kind of thing, there's depending on the situation. And keep in mind, okay, I'm just talking about stuff that I learned while I was in treatment, okay? I am not a therapist. I am not any of that stuff. So if you are experiencing or having any sort of like whatever, legal disclaimer, go like get help from like official sources, not this guy. I'm just merely relaying things that I've learned, okay? I'm not trying to be or say just like, and then you should do this. Just remember that. It's important. Where was I? I don't even remember what I was talking about. All right. Anxiety and how it can be more nestled in your limbic system, your nervous system. And a lot of times if it's like things like prolonged stress, or if you have like a traumatic, or even like a series of traumatic experiences, then what happens is that it goes into your body. And then really cognitive reframing may not be as helpful in those moments. That's why a lot of times you have to work on different things like kind of meditation. That's why you have to that's why exercise like aerobic physical activity is so helpful, so important to just overall kind of well-being. And a big reason for that is because it helps to kind of destaticify your nervous system. Yeah. Because again, your nervous system holds the memories of like stress and trauma, basically. It really does. But yeah, a lot of times like cognitive reframing, that's why again, like grounding techniques and like doing kind of things to help kind of that's gonna work more for an anxiety than maybe a depression. And then those grounding techniques, if you try them on a depression, I mean, it's like, all right, well, I'm still sad. I'm a little bit more relaxed, but I'm still sad. So that's why it's super important. Like, if you're going through some stuff, like, that's why the whole notion of, like, go get help, because, like, you'll be able to talk to professionals who actually know how to help you navigate and, like, to listen, and they'll be like, okay, well, this and this and this, you know, and it's like they really do give, like toolkits as far as how to kind of help betterfy yourself on stuff. All right, Michelle Halliday, welcome back. You got this. Sober 17 years now. Wow, good for you, Michelle. Man, holy Toledo. Ribs and bacon, the beard / necklace combo makes it look like you went on a spiritual retreat and came back as one of those weird hippie healers. Namaste, Ribs. Thank you. That was that necklace, because it's like it could be a necklace or it could be like a thing, and it actually that was a gift Heidi got for me, and it has the names of like Heidi and the kid there. It's like engraved in like this silver kind of stuff. She gave that to me. It was an anniversary gift, and I'm like, that was really nice, and I wore that. And as I was like walking outside, because I checked, you know, I looked in the mirror. We have a mirror like by a door, and I looked, and I had like a similar kind of thought, like, oh boy, you're looking like you're about to kumbaya this thing up. Hello, I am back from my spiritual journey. And everyone would be like, hi? Yeah, I get it. Kitties for everyone. Some people don't need kitties. Some people are good with kitties. Some people aren't good with kitties. Maybe the people that, you know, like do mean things to kitties don't. They shouldn't be on that everyone list. Thinking about that. Good for you for taking care of yourself. That's a courageous decision. Is it? I am so brave. It's just like, no, well, maybe, I don't know. Sure. Admitting. But then it's like, is that also another thing? Because like sometimes, and I've had a therapist tell me this, that like there's certain types of things that are like strangely, they're defense mechanisms, and they're also tools of avoidance. So like a lot of times, like when I intellectualize certain things or certain aspects of myself. And I had a therapist like, well, it sounds like you actually know a lot about like what's going on and what you're going through, but like, do you actually apply these things? And I'm like, and then she told me, she's like, yeah, that can happen. Like that, like a lot of times people they'll learn a lot of like what, they'll learn like the nuts and bolts and the ins and outs of what it is that you got going on inside of your noodle. And you know the stuff like on an academic kind of level, but you're not doing like the small steps and the gentle work to actually apply that knowledge. And that really is so important. But people will kind of sit there and say like, well, I know about this and I've educated myself, and there we go. I did that for years. I did that for a long time. I don't do that now. Sally Ann Stockman. Some people battle demons. Oh, Derek? He battles aliens. That's right, Sally. All right, Monsieur, Derek of the Krahn, Adirondack, blah, blah, blah. Can't say that I'm surprised. Oh, what was that, Adirondack? Is that some sort of like subtle dig? Huh? Basically, are you saying just like, yeah, look, okay, when you said like, hey, I've been having a lot of trouble and I had to go to rehab and everything, it's like, look, you're basically saying like, we knew that you were messed up the entire time. Yeah, it's, is what it is. It is what it is. Oh my gosh. With you, what you shared with us through the years, your eyes often showed deep combat and struggles, but you kept a happy face. Do my eyes? Did they show deep combat and struggles? What do you see from my eyes right now, Adirondack? What do you see? What about now? What do my eyes show? I really hope that you're watching this on TV, like in your living room or something like that. One of you watching it on the TV, and then someone happens to be walking in, like right at that spot, and they're just like, "What? What are you watching? Is it that guy? Is it that guy again? Doesn't he do cat? Why is he doing that?" Rebecca Farthing, welcome back, Derek. I thought maybe you'd been arrested for all the nasty things you say about the Tikis. I wouldn't be arrested, okay? Basically, all of the mayors of all of the cities would be like, and we present to you the key to the city for your words condemning the Tikis. That's really where I was. I was accepting keys of the city from all the mayors. I got invited for my comments. Welcome back, and as long as you can say I'm not gonna drink today and don't and do it. That's the thing. I understand, Karsten. Yes, as long as you can say I'm not gonna drink today and I don't and do that every day, you will stay. I don't like I said, I don't have. I'm not gonna sit there and say that like, oh, and I'm all better and like I can just go right back. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm really lucky that I am not dealing. I'm not dealing with like these like urges or cravings or just like I really wish I could just just have that. I don't. So it's like I don't have to have those kind of mantras. But what I do need are those kind of like continuous like, okay, I need to try to be like I need to try not just I need to be the best version of me and everything. It's like, you know what? I just want to be, I guess, a contented version or something, or maybe sure, like try to be the best you that you can be, and if the best you isn't top notch, like that's okay. Like have enough of like the grace, like that Grace lady that she was talking about. Basically, just have enough self-kindness and self-compassion, to understand that the best version of you is going to be it's a fluctuating thing and it changes every day. But if you can just strive to just, do good. Proud of you for taking the steps. I know, Stacy. I'm glad to have you back, Derek. AB94. I'm glad to be back. Thank you. Talking about this, I'm so glad you've got help and support. I know we're a bunch of Pete in-mouth weirdos on the internet. Should tell us a little bit about yourself, huh? You one of those Pete fetishists? 894? We're going to be moving on to the next comment. Step right up. Good for you. Keep on chucking. This is a much more enclosed area. I don't want to hit myself nor my computer. Okay, we're not going to do that. Also, writing things down would not have been Derek's style. Ramble away. Thank you, Steph. You know, that probably was really loud. Sorry. Steph, you know me. Thank you. Appreciate that. Leanna Boyle, back amongst the kitties. You really love those big cats. Yeah, Leanna. I don't know. Maybe it's the YouTube channel that has cats and then my name that I've been doing for ever since 2014. What clued you? Thanks, Leanna. Big Max 513, glad you're taking care of your issues, Derek. Keep fighting, and we're all here for you. I gotta fight. Actually, that's thank you for the sentiment, Big Max. How's Mia? Thank you for the sentiment, but for me personally, I found it a lot better or a lot easier to kind of go about some of the struggles and some of the issues if I don't characterize them in this kind of idea of like I have to fight. Like I'm because then it's like you're in like that, you're in that kind of combat thing, and then you're just like, and you're trying to white knuckle through life, and to me that just, and I had done that for years, for a long time. Whether not just dealing with alcohol, but just dealing with kind of various different things. A lot of anxiety, paranoia, like spiraling bouts, of like occasional depression, stuff like that. So yeah, and then you sit there and think like, I gotta fight you. But so much of a lot of the angst that comes from like taking a combative stance like that, it doesn't need to be a part of your life. Like it really doesn't. The type of therapy that I was doing in treatment was a lot of it's called acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, and there's a lot of different things that are associated with like really kind of like defining and articulating a value system. That's really important, because then you can use your own personal value system basically as the lens to focus like your paths and decisions, and then you can do things and then align yourself in ways that are in service to your personal values, which is very helpful, because if you're ever at a crossroads like, what should I do? Then you sit there and kind of like cross-reference it to like, oh, well, here's my values. Like, okay, that helps to kind of illuminate the direction that you could take. And it feels better, tends to. There's that. And then also, the other thing is, instead of trying to fight some of those different aspects of yourself, try the other thing. Like, actually kind of maybe show those different parts of yourself some kindness and some compassion. So, for instance, let's say that I have like a paranoid part of myself that sometimes manifests itself in like unhelpful patterns of thinking and unhelpful interpersonal interactions. Like, what you said that because of this, and how, like, really, and like, oh, and then you start to sit there and think like, maybe they're trying to do things like this, and maybe they're plotting because of this. It's like, that's not a good way to be. But then it's like you have to sit there and think like, okay, well, yeah, paranoid part of myself, thank you for doing the things that you were doing, because really you were trying to protect me. And you're validating that part of yourself. And then you're also kind of going on afterwards, and you're saying like, okay, well, you are a part of me, and I'm not going to try to evict you. One, because you are a part of me and I love you. And two, I can't, because you're a part of me And if I try to get rid of you, a part of my personality, a part of my thinking patterns, part of my brain, if I just try to get rid of like such a huge part, then I'm going to do well. But what I can do is say like, hey, maybe we can take some of the energy, and maybe we can take, some of your tactics and maybe adjust them. So you can still be, like reasonably paranoid. You can still be like mistrusting of certain things that are appropriate to be like, I don't know if you should eat those berries. Out in the woods, like, I don't know, they look pretty tasty. And it's like that part of me, it's there to perform a service. So let's see if we can try to get that part of me like more like appropriately reacquainted with like its intended job. Because there was a point in my life where becoming excessively paranoid it provided me some value. That's the other thing. It's like backtracking and finding like, okay, at what point in my life did I develop this thing, and for what reason? Oh, and to sit there and say like, well, that makes sense, because at that time it's like you needed to have that weird kind of thing going on. So yeah. Surreal Sadai. Welcome back, Derek. It takes a lot of strength to admit you have a problem. I know. But to actually admit you need help and get it, that can be a Hercules. Everyone talks in terms of just like Hercules and courage and things. Maybe there's something to it. Thank you very much, Surreal. Thank you. Times are strange right now, and most of us know that you have a day job, and with the traveling and the quarantine and so on, you being away wasn't a shock to most of us. Oh, what that really means is like, I didn't even know that you were gone. Oh, Derek's not. Thanks for that, Jelly Bean. The actual reason is a surprise. Yeah, there you go. It was a surprise to a lot of people. Like basically saying like, yep, I need to go get help for this thing. And they're just like, really? Wow, okay. All right, well, okay, not expected. But I am happy that you're taking the steps. That's kind of people, and I'm talking about people like I worked with, who know me like in the real world, not the internet world. Because that's not real. Jen and Harvey P. Welcome back! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation! Turtles! Ms. Deezer, we love you. Da, 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 da. Please be okay. Da, 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 da. No pressure. Da, 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 da. Tabby, looks good. Glad to see you back. We all have mountains to climb, and it's never easy climbing them. No, it's not. Being a mountaineer. It's awesome that you got the help. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. Rachel B. That was me. I was getting kind of distracted, and that sounded like really dismissive, just like, it's awesome, blah, blah, blah. Support, whatever. Meanwhile, there's probably people even watching this video who like struggle with like not feeling validated and not having support in their lives. Saying like, I wish that I had some people that could like just give me like just give me some like positive affirmations in my life. And meanwhile, Derek is just being they're being poured onto him, from just deep Tupperware jugs. Just like, here's the support and the love, and I'm just like, yeah. And people are like, I wish that I could have a tablespoon of that. I am sorry. That sounded really bad. Stay strong, Derek. Taco. Yeah. Big kitties need their dad safe and sound, so they can squeak and spook him. I'm a very spoopy kitty. And if I spoop you too much, your heart may go, oh no. Those poor mosquitoes. Yeah, Mary Farquhar. Farquhar. I'm not even trying to be like silly. Farquhar. I really hope that I got it somewhere close. Mary, thank you. I'm so happy, and you look good. Yeah. Thanks, Mary. I get people are like, you look bright. Your skin looks amazing. Your eyes seem so much better. You look like half of a corpse last time. No kidding, Derek. You look up. Oh, I'm proud of you, Derek. AW, realizing you have a problem and working to fix it is nothing to feel embarrassed, anxious, or ashamed about. Stay strong and stay healthy, my dude. Thanks, AW. I'm glad you're able to get the help. Micah Smith, glad to have you back, Derek. Thanks, Micah. I'm glad to be back. You're my friend, Micah. Got me into YouTube, Micah. Thank you. Dear Noodle. Hello, my name is Dear Noodle. I'm glad you were able to get the help you needed and that you have such an amazing support network. Yeah, welcome back. A lot of these are starting to sound very... You guys need to start kind of getting a little bit more creative with your comments. Jeez. Ribs and bacon. So you are from Wisconsin. Yeah. One day at a time. Thanks, Ribs. Appreciate yous. Baron, welcome back, Mr. Derek. Thank you. Ty Banani, I'm glad you had the strength to go through what you needed. Again, people talking about the strength and the courage that it took. Much love, and we're all here for you. Thanks. I don't have for you, Derek, but I don't have for you, Derek. I don't have for you, Derek. Baron, you okay? Baron, you all right? You doing good? Maybe you need to, maybe you're on the sauce. I don't have for you. You know what? I don't know what you're saying. Did you fall asleep on the keyboard? The fact that you feel comfortable talking so personal with such humor is incredibly admirable. Thanks, Pink Cupcake. Appreciate you. From a micro creator. Oh my gosh, a micro creator. I relate to the content anxiety a lot. You're definitely not alone. Pink Cupcake. Daniel Siegmund. Nice that you're back. Especially nice that you're able to recognize your problem, do something about it. You can talk about it. Yeah, it is. That helps. This is like when I started saying just like, all right, this is it. This is a problem. And I started just being like, here it is. This is, yeah. Because there was like some people, certainly people that knew, like close, family, immediate family, like close friends, like they knew. There were some people that knew. But so many people, a lot of you included, didn't know. And, yeah, it's not even so much about, like, it definitely felt very freeing. That's why a lot of times, like, people sit there and say, it took so much courage and everything. It's like, that actually was just like that was a relief. It was like, in many ways, just being able to say just like, yeah, I'm a booze hound. I drink a lot, and it's starting to affect my life in ways that I don't like. And then once I started talking about that, not just to you, but to other people around, it just became like the thing. It just became a matter of fact thing. It's like, okay, now I don't have to just kind of exist like in secrecy. Steph Pans, thank you for your honesty, Derek. Thank you for your comments, Steph Pans. I can't imagine that it was easy for you to face your demons head on, but I really hope that it gave you the help you wanted and needed. Yeah, it did. Again, it's like things like facing demons and stuff like that. And a lot of times when you characterize maybe some of those kind of like hurting or kind of broken parts of yourself, not so much as like these kind of like monsters to vanquish, but maybe just as kind of, upset, kind of lost people that just kind of mill around in your head. It's helpful when you kind of characterize things like that. But thank you very much, Steph. Drew Gibson, love you. That's not my name, Drew. That's not Drew. Many props and things. Glad to have you back. Thanks, Drew. It's not my name. You've been in the Michelle Reichmuth. You've been in the hospital because you chucked yourself in the head. No, no, Michelle. Alcohol no bueno. Congrats. That's not my name, Michelle. You take that back on identifying that you had a. You know what? Congratulations, Michael. Yeah, how you like it? Mike, what's up, Mike? Jessica Lee, so proud of you, Derek. Thanks, Jessica. Amber Flicks. Return to the dad stash. Smiley face. Good to see you again, Derek. Melissa and Jan provided some great content. They did. They did provide a lot of great content. Melimsa. Glad you did what was best for you and your family. I have a hard enough time staying away from sugar and caffeine. Can't imagine going up against stuff, more significant stuff. I'm glad you're back and stay away from the booze plug. Also, low-key loving the beard. Oh my gosh, all of these thirsty ladies. That might not be even like a... They're probably just people just saying like, oh no, it's actually becoming on you. Like, oh my gosh, stop flirting with me. I'm trying to be professional. I'm like, I wasn't. I was just complimenting you. Kangamanga. Well done, fella. Look at all those turtles. Look at all those turtles. Ah! And even braver to do something about it. Yeah, Evelyn, missed you. Okay, yeah, it's okay to ask for help. I know, Evelyn, that's why I did it. Darlene Peterson, we understand, Derek, do you? Glad you're doing better. You have a good sense of humor about it. Thanks. Appreciate that, Darlene. Okay, Ann S. You, sir, are a beautiful example of person. Ann thinks I'm beautiful. And thanks, I'm beautiful. So glad you're healing long-suffered wounds. I will keep you and the family in my prayers. You got this. How long has this been going on? How long has this video been going on? 54 minutes! Holy shit! Oh, man. All right. I should probably wrap it up. Thank you so much for all of your lovely and warm comments of support. We didn't really get to questions, but this is the thing. I was even talking to Melissa about, doing it like this, just kind of off the cuff, and then thinking about maybe doing more kind of comment responses just from the regular videos. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you think? Like I said, thank you so much for all of your support, and it really is, tender and heartwarming, and all of the stuff that I'm supposed to say at times like these. Now I'm sitting there thinking, just say the thing that you like. But then, okay, I'm sitting there thinking, you gotta say something that's like a good sign off, like something that's meaningful for the people that are watching. But then at the same time, I'm also sitting there thinking, like, you've been on for 56 minutes, like, wrap it up. So then both of those conflicting thoughts are happening in my head while I'm trying to do this. Not helpful. It's not helpful. So I guess I just want to say, just really appreciate it. Thank you guys. I love you. And there might be some more comment stuff like this in the future. A way to kind of like, dive into the community, so to speak. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.